Courtney, how fun was that to open the season with that type of rhythm offensively? Synergy, you were almost at a double-double, 20 points. Really nice there, nice this. Can you just talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I came into the game just telling myself, man, the work gonna show. Like, I've been in the gym, getting in early, getting shots up. This is the first time in my career I done did that. I hate to say that, but it's the truth. Like, this is the first time I done actually, like, did just that extra, like, when it comes to just my handles, my shot, my three. So, like I said, I think the work just showing at this point.
How much did the ending to last year motivate you to come back ready and
Oh, that's the main motivation. That's the main motivation, man. We trying to go get us one. So honestly, that's the main motivation. That's the only motivation at this point.
Courtney, it was a 1-point game, about 6 minutes left in the third,
Mm.
and you guys basically, you and Fee kind of took off from there. I think it was a 23-9 run to end the quarter. You didn't miss a shot in the second half. Fee scored a career high 18 in the third. What happened? What switch was flipped in that situation?
Honestly, I think we just started picking up our defense. We understand that if we lock in on D, it makes our offense feel a lot more smoother, a lot easier. So I think that was our point of emphasis when we came into the locker room, our transition defense, and just making sure we there for each other. That's how we got so far last year, just helping the helper. So we locked in on that, and that just made our offense feel a lot more easier.
It had to feel good to see Diamond.
Oh yeah, man. I'm so proud of D, man. I'm so proud of D, man. She done had a rough last year, you know, dealing with injuries. So for her to come out and give us those quality minutes that she gave us, man, I know she's gonna be a huge part of what it is we're gonna do this year.
So this week the GM said that he was a favorite to win MVP.
As they should. What?
She was out and scores 34 points.
She talking nice.
I mean, it's like she never left, right?
Thank you. It's her year, man. It's her year. It's her year to go get it. So all she gotta do is just keep doing what she's doing. Our team success. We successful as good as Fee is. So long as she come out and do Fee things, she should be getting what she deserves, and that's that MVP straight up.
Court, it's not your first time because y'all did practice, but what's it like being on the court with Jess the first game?
Oh man, Jess again is gonna be huge for our success. She just a workhorse, man. She gonna do all the little things. She gonna make all the right plays. And she gonna get on them boards. So Jess gonna be huge for us.
Talk about Taylor's first game, like first WNBA game.
Yeah, let me see. I mean, she getting comfortable, and she gonna get comfortable, man. Had an amazing college career. So as she continue to get her feet wet, get more comfortable in the league, she gonna be a problem for sure.
And then Maya and Silver going in the Hall of Fame later. So you already answered this question during the offseason. But just your thoughts about what they've done for your career, and then also just the organization as a whole.
Yeah, shoot, what they did for everybody, not just me. You know what I'm saying? They laid down the groundwork, the foundation. You know, we not here if not for the ones that came before us. So I'm loving that. You know, people giving them their flowers because they deserve it, man. They did tremendous things for the Lynx organization. So shout out to the women, man.
And just to kind of go back to Paige for just a second, there was like a moment I want to say in the second or third quarter, the two of you like talking to each other on the free throw line. Share?
Say what?
Is there anything you can share about what y'all are speaking about?
What did she say? She said, I think she said the foul call is 11-2. And I said, so stop fouling. Straight up.
Courtney, I want to ask you talked about the motivation you had coming off of last year. You talked about this to some extent during the preseason, that last game, game 5, really didn't sit well with you.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, how, I guess, satisfying is to say I'm going to get better, work, and then come out and start the way you did.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't going to say it's satisfying because you can never be satisfied. It's one game. Fee said in the locker room, 43 more. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be satisfied. I mean, obviously, teams are going to start game planning. Teams are going to throw different defenses at us. So we got to be ready to respond. But we know what we got to do, man. We ready for the challenge. We stacking our days. So we excited to get the season rolling, man, and go get us one. Appreciate y'all. For sure.
At tip-off, when I missed your dap up?
Yeah, you did.
You got the Silver.
They're getting
No.
blasted. Getting blasted.
I know that they're good now, but I just find Celtics. I just don't like watching.
Oh, I don't like
I
watching.
don't like watching the way they play.
No, I just want to know who we're gonna do playing. I don't like who.
They're about to blow
They
it.
don't adapt. If if their threes aren't going,
Yeah, they just keep shooting. What? Okay, they had what 83, 87. That's crazy.
If they don't hit threes,
That's how I play.
how many play on 2K?
I'm fine.
All right.
We'll get ready for questions for coach.
Courtney was in here saying how hard she worked on her game this offseason, probably harder than she's ever worked before. And we've been talking all training camp about the next step for Fee. I mean, that second half for those two is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I think they combined to make 16 of 19 shots.
Yeah. They had, what, 33 of the 35 in the third.
Yeah.
So obviously the third was what was special and got our separation. Yeah, really, really happy for both of them. You know, they both hooped and, you know, Courtney's work in the off season. The bar is low on the work in the off season. Just kidding. And, you know, the older she's gotten, the more she's appreciating, I think, those ways to, and, you know, how the season ended, and the responsibility that she took, you know, and some of our shortcomings. You know, she's sort of committed to that. Happy to see it pay off. We needed that, you know, this game, the way those two played, if you look at being down, you know, 2 starters, we needed those guys to do that. You know, and so it was good to see.
Collier, I guess, in particular, it was a 1-point game, I think 6
Mm-hmm.
and a half minutes or so in the third. And then it just seemed like, with some help, obviously, from Courtney, but
Mm-hmm.
in that 10-1 run, I think she scored 8 points.
Yeah.
To force their timeout.
Yeah.
And that was the true moment of separation. I mean,
Yeah.
was it just her saying enough's enough, or just it's starting to fall, or? what
Yeah,
was it?
I mean, she was aggressive. I think she knew the spaces that she could be in, and I thought we were persistent in getting her there. That was one of the things that we said before the game. You know, we had on the board Fee, that we need to understand where Fee needs the ball, and you know, we can't go multiple possessions without that happening. And so we had great recognition in the third on that.
We'll go to Terry on Zoom.
Hey, Coach. Congrats.
Hey, Terry.
What was sort of the message at halftime? It didn't, based on body language, it didn't look like anyone was pleased with the performance in the first half, but just this team was obviously tremendous at making adjustments and taking over third quarters last season. So just curious what that was like tonight.
Well, I mean, I'd say for the game, particularly at halftime, our transition defense was a mess. Our commitment to, you know, being in spaces to make the paint much harder to achieve. They had their way with us. They absolutely had their way with us. And, you know, a 25-point second quarter, just, you know, and then turnovers to end the quarter. You know, we're trying to manage foul trouble with Court and Fee and take them out. And then, you know, just a bad ending to the quarter. And most of it was rooted in defense. The transition defense starting there. Didn't think, you know, once we got set and guarded actions that we were bad in that, but field goal percentage is too high. You know, that's what we said. We'd like to win, you know, and learn from winning. There's a lot to learn from this game. We are far, far from where we need to be defensively, very far. And we got out rebounded, you know, we fouled. All right. Those are all things that, you know, we just don't want to do. Luckily the offensive was there for us.
Was T taken up there?
She was, yeah. Her shin, first her ankle earlier, and then her shin. Guess she took a shot, got kicked. So she was hurting there.
Thoughts on Paige's first game?
I have to go back and look at it. That's really hard for me. We knew the actions we were trying to defend. I thought we largely did a good job there. I didn't notice her line. Yeah, I thought we did a pretty good job on her. You know, it's obviously a really good player that's going to have a great career.
You know, we shout out to Rebecca Brunson on the scout. I thought our attention to detail on the scout in the half court was really, really good. And I thought we made things challenging for both Paige and Enrique.
What impressed you the most about your team's execution in the third quarter?
Just they were making simple plays. It wasn't anything extravagant, and it was really Court making shots and Fee making shots. You know, Fee getting to her spots in the paint and finishing, but it was the way that we were running the actions. Again, keeping things simple and you know, I mean that like Courtney when she's like that and she's running around making those pull-ups, they're daggers, you know, and it really helps Fee when those things are happening.
You had to feel good. Finally healthy Diamond coming out.
Yeah.
Really making a difference.
Yeah, she really did.
You talked about being at second unit a different look. I
Yep.
think we kind of saw that tonight.
You did. You did. Diamond was ready. Diamond was focused. You know, Diamond had to be patient with us through training camp as we really wanted to make sure she was ready. So we sort of held her back a little bit, and she's been chomping at the bit, you know, to get back out there. And I thought her focus was really good. We've worked really hard identifying the spaces that we really want her to live in, and if it's not there, let's move on to something else. You know, certainly some learning moments, you know, later in the game, you know, when you know, started maybe force a little bit, but really good minutes for Diamond at both ends of the floor.
You saw her transition ability.
Yeah, yeah.
She was, for a while there, she was your offense.
She was. We don't have anybody else on the team that can do what she does in terms of running that floor and the strength. If you look at Diamond, I mean, her strength when she's driving and she puts a body on you, you know, like she's in a really good spot.
I know you super proud of the game, like you said, you don't.
I do.
You didn't know Paige what her line was.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
was there at any point during introductions or anything where you thought, I remember when she was 12 years old, I mean, and just, do you ever stop and think about those sort of things in the kind of game situation?
I wish I could give you something like really special right now, but in all due respect, I will refrain from maybe what I would have said previously. I have a lot of respect for Paige, but that was the last thing on my mind. I am not worried about Paige Beckers, right? I'm really super happy. We've got you know, another face of the league and all those things, and I'm happy she's from Minnesota, and I'm happy you flew here to be here for her first WNBA game. But I was just so locked in on what our team was doing.
What stands out to you, Napheesa's evolution as a player I'm from Connecticut. I haven't seen her play in person since 2019. I'm just wondering what stands out to you about the way she's evolved and remained a dominant player in this league.
Yeah, well, certainly the perimeter game. You know, if you look at in her 2019 season, she was playing small forward, and we were just diving into the post, and she would occasionally shoot threes. She worked on it. Each year, all right, she's gotten better. The power forward spot has become her spot. Those have been her best seasons. I think she continues to evolve in the ways that she gets by people. Everybody knows what her move is, right? Everybody knows. But she, you know, she's one of those special players that can still get to. I'm sure you saw it, you know, you many times in Connecticut. And what you also saw in Connecticut, it's a player that doesn't stop moving. So her persistence in that space, and she generates offense without running plays for her. And that's what, you know, a lot of times when I go through, we're going to run for Fee. Well, what you run for Fee is movement, because she's going to be a part of that movement. She's going to create something for herself because she never stops. And that's, you know, something that I know that Gino would say. And obviously we get to feel that every day now. And her overall maturity, you know, that's also a natural evolution in her leadership space, her understanding what we're doing, understanding what to say in timeouts, and how to, you know, like if it's not going well, how to solve the issues. She's just about as consistent a player that I think there has ever been in our league. You know, the way she shows up every day is consistent. Who she is as a person is so consistent, and obviously that leads to her consistency as a player.
So the crowd came out today to watch a former UConn star have a big game, and they did, right?
They did. Yeah, right about that. Yeah. UConn star upstage the one you came to see.
Coach, you want a quick thought on how Jess played and what it's like?
Yeah, thanks for asking about Jess, because I think Jess was and has been right in the preseason game when you guys saw her. Jess is vital to our success, and she schematically knows where to be. Offensively, we put the ball in her hands and she makes reads. So have a passing big is really nice. Her offensive rebounding, the way she battles, and then her ability to score, around the rim. Again, it helps Fee to have someone else that can get in there and like Jess is confident. She's a very confident player right now. She physically looks great, I think feels great. And so, she's always been important to us, but it's another level right now. And think in terms of her maturity and how she's feeling.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
See what happened in the third quarter.
I think just we talked a lot in halftime. Like we need to step it up. Our defense was really bad. We weren't executing the way we wanted to on offense, even though that was kind of keeping us in the game. So just having that level of aggression coming out, like we have to flip a switch.
Courtney Williams just said this is your year to win MVP. I want to know what are your thoughts on her comments and do you put stock in the winning awards such as that?
Courtney's always my biggest supporter. She's always got my back. Yeah, my hype man. I'm honestly focused on more than MVP. Like I want us to win a championship this year. So that's what I'm focused on. And the awards come after that, So of course, like you want to win those awards, but I'm way more focused on the team. Like I want us to get a championship.
You and Courtney, 33, I think, of the 35 points you both scored in the
Third quarter.
And I don't think she missed a shot in the second half.
Yeah.
When you guys were down 2 stars tonight, to get that kind of production from you and Courtney, I mean, what does it say about, you guys kind of stepping up when you needed?
I think it was needed, like I think we understand our role in that, especially like when we're struggling, we need to be the ones that are taking over. So putting us in positions where, Courtney's was all mid-range, exactly where she wants to be. I was getting in the paint more, diving and posting up in there. And so I think just understanding that, like when we need to start hitting some or getting in the flow, that we need to take over a little bit more.
Maya's going in the Hall of Fame later this year. Just want to know what she's done for your career, and then for somebody of the younger generation that didn't get a chance to see her play. Just they asked you, what was she like? What would you tell?
She is such a huge inspiration. I was really lucky in that I got to follow her really closely. We're from the same hometown, went to the same college, and then same professional team. So being able to watch her from when I was really little, especially in a time where women's sports wasn't really around, like on TV as much. It wasn't super accessible. So being able to follow her, I felt really lucky. And she was like one of the original stars, like especially of this newer generation. And so to have someone like that is just amazing. Like if people of the younger generation haven't seen her, I would definitely encourage them to go watch clips, because Maya was just like so fun to watch. Not only was she super, like she put the points up, but it was like a fun way to watch it, like she scored in fun ways, super dynamic, and, coming off the bounce, threes, like layups. She had that, the layup that she always did, that, the underhand one. And so, yeah, I mean, definitely someone that people on and off the court can look up to. So I would definitely encourage them to watch clips of her.
After the game, court was said in the locker room, you guys all said, look, there's 43 more of these. Let's not get too carried away. And coach made the point of saying that the defense is not as a whole where it needs to be. As the kind of leader of this team, how do you take some joy in what you guys did tonight, while at the same time realizing that things have to tighten up if you guys are going to keep moving forward?
Yeah. I think celebrating the win always, like getting it done, no matter how you get it, is great. But we do see, places that we need to improve. We won because we made some tough shots. Courtney and I had 33 points in the third quarter. If we don't have that, then what is our fallback? Like, what do we fall back on? And I think we realized that, especially we saw the effects of that in the second half. It's still not where we wanted it to be, but it was better than the first half. We were there for each other a lot more. We were in gaps more, rotating a lot better. So hopefully this was the kick in the butt we needed. I'm glad, hopefully it doesn't have to come from a loss, that it can come from a win. I think Wade's the one that said that. You can still learn from wins. And so we have, thankfully, play in 2 days. So it'll be a show to see what we learned.
Last question.
Did you just say to Paige on the court?
I said congratulations to her. I'm really proud of Paige. Just super proud that she broke the curse of UConn not winning a championship in 10 years. And just like everything she's done, she's a great person. I love her family. She's so talented. So I just said, congratulations and good luck.